Good morning, everyone. I have a whole lot of new stuff. Clarify a few things about what it is exactly that I'm doing here in astrology. Even a few of you that have been with me for a while are just now waking up to, I'm not doing tropical astrology. This whole channel, that's what it's about. My background is in linguistics, in language, and everything I studied in language, on where language comes from, kept taking me back to the stars. And then there was a period of my life where I had the opportunity to learn alchemy. So I spent a decade learning alchemy that I knew it was encoded, and there was something hidden that I was missing and I didn't understand. And when I began putting all the pieces of language and alchemy together, it kept showing me one thing, and that was astrology. But every time I looked at astrology, or Western astrology, what we're seeing on YouTube, it was all wrong. It's not what I was finding in alchemy. So I found that sidereal astrology is much closer to what I'm doing. Tropical astrology, they'll give you a lot of apologetics as to why it is the way it is. But the fact is, it's at this point, it's more than 24 degrees off. The set was 23.5 degrees, but because of a tsunami, we've had an actual shift of another degree. So it's at over 24 degrees off from where the stars actually are. To me, that's part of the spell. The spell is tropical astrology. You're looking at two matrices here, and they've brought in a third. And they're trying to split this one. You have tropical astrology, sidereal astrology, and then the computer-calculated IU boundaries of the constellations. And each one of them will make you a different zodiac sign. I call tropical astrology, we were double-crossed. There are 3 crosses at Golgotha and 3 crosses in the heavens. We've all been crucified and are on one of those crosses. We're told to take up our cross and follow him daily. But if you're not going by sidereal astrology but tropical astrology, you've actually been double-crossed, because these are where the stars are where you're born in sidereal astrology. Tropical astrology moves everything by 23.5 degrees. And it puts you in a different sign. It puts you on a different cross, which makes it a different magic circle or a different spell that you are under. These are the dates between tropical and sidereal astrology. If you're an Aries, you've been told that your birthday is between March 21st and April 20th. In all actuality, it's between April 15th and May 15th. The IAU puts it, we're not even going to discuss this one. We're not even going to discuss this one, because this has more to do with cosmology than actual astronomy. Okay? This one's based on the stars and the names of the stars. This one is based on calculations of an old spell. To me, the tropical or Western zodiac was created at exactly the same time as the New Testament. It's 1700 years old, and they locked the wheel in the sky, and they don't let it move. They don't let it move. They want to keep Aries in the spring equinox. March 21st is when the zodiac begins. Everything begins in spring on the day of balance. That's understood by all cultures. The east is up, not north. And the reason for them wanting to keep Aries in that first zodiac position is because it is the first commandment of the god Aries. Thou shalt have no other god before me. So he comes first. And that's the spell. That will always be the spell. Now, in all actuality, We're in Pisces in the spring equinox. The sun rises in Pisces on March 21st, but soon it will be Aquarius. It will be the fixed cross. They want to keep, they're doing a cardinal cross spell. We're on the mutable cross, moving to the fixed cross Aquarius. Okay, these are your correct dates. Aries, April 15th to May the 15th. Taurus, May the 16th to June the 15th. Gemini, June the 16th to July the 16th. Cancer, July 17th to August the 16th. Leo, August 17th to September 16th. Virgo, September 17th to October 17th. Libra, October 18th to November 16th. Scorpio, November 17th to December 16th. We do not count Ophiuchus. I'll talk about that. Sagittarius is December 17th to January the 15th. Capricorn is January the 16th to February the 14th. Aquarius is from February the 15th to March the 15th. And Pisces is from March the 16th to April 14th. And these are the correct lineups. This is what you'll find in Stellarium. Stellarium uses sidereal dates, not the IAU boundaries. They'll show you the IAU boundaries, but the dates for the constellations are these. Now about Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is the upper house of Scorpio. The planets do not move in a straight line around the zodiac. They go in an up and down position. Sometimes they're on the zodiac, sometimes they're above it, and sometimes they're below it. This is another spell to me, the Ophiuchus spell, and it's trying to attack sidereal astrology, not tropical astrology, not applicable. And they bring it in here. Well, the planets also, and the sun and the moon will travel through Cetus, Orion, Coma, the upper house of Virgo. So you would have to include all of them when you understand boundaries, and that Ophiuchus, Hercules, Serpentarius, the hero's journey, is above Scorpio, which is actually an eagle on the fixed cross, not a scorpion. That was changed. With this zodiac here. The ancients, the zodiacs before these, the original Greek, not the Greco-Roman, the original Greek and Hebrew zodiacs only had 11 constellations. There were 7 planets and 11 constellations. The Egyptian, the original, had 9 constellations and 9 planets. So we went from 9 to 11 to 12. I looked for the 10th zodiac, the zodiac that showed 10 houses, and I never could find one. And I realized there never was one. What they did was, when 2 houses joined together, it would eliminate a sign, and Scorpio and Libra were one sign, as a lot of us look at Capricorn and Aquarius as one sign. That's Pan. They've inverted Pan to Baphomet and made him evil, but it's Pan. It's one house, ruled by one planet, 2 constellations. So this is just another spell to avoid the hidden truth. Now, when you log on to any video I put up, if you'll look in the description box below the video, this is for the new subs, you'll find a list. I always post all of this. And I've been meaning to mention this. I have a new post office box. I've made several videos. I forgot to tell you, but I have been putting it below the video in the description box. I've just simply forgot to mention it. Somebody sent me a really nice donation over Christmas, and I used a big part of that to get a post office box. I went to get one before, and they didn't have the small box. None were available. All they had was the big box, and it was really expensive. And I just wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to spend that kind of money for a post office box. And then I found another post office box on my bus line that I can make one transfer and get off right in front of the post office. My post office, I have the 69 post office, and I went to the 70 post office, and I can get off right in front of it. And I was able to get a box there. So my address is P.O. Box 70612, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89170-0612, which, yes, is the 216 reversed. This number seems to follow me around. I just got off of a 216 reversed apartment. I was in that F102, 201, that 216 reversed. Anyway, my PayPal link, when you make a donation or request a chart, I don't have a PayPal business account, so that I always ask you to send it money to friends and family. When you send it on as a payment, if I catch it, I'll just refund it. If not, it goes through PayPal system, and they hold that for 30 days. And then they take out all kind of fees, and Nevada charges taxes for anything online. So they hit me for that as well, and it's pretty steep. Venmo, they've changed a lot of their rules. I do have a couple of people that use Venmo, but I'm probably going to eliminate this link. Stellarium, the program I'm using, it's free. Within this link is a PDF manual on how to use it. Windows, 32 or 64-bit system, Linux, iMac, Android, even the iPhone at the iStore will offer a copy of Stellarium. My Bitcoin referral, it's a Satoshi faucet. It's just free Bitcoin every hour. It don't cost you anything but a minute of your time, a ding on the bell. You push the button. Every hour you can collect. Right now it's a little above 50 Satoshi an hour. It adds up over time. You never know. It doesn't cost you anything. You won't get any emails. There's no scam. It's a gambling site. What they want you to do is bet the high-low game. They give you some free ones every hour so you'll keep playing. The deal is to don't play the high-low game. Just take the free ones and keep going. Planetary linguistics. Vedic planetary positions. I need to redo that. That's spelt wrong. Word origin etymology. Always look at what you're saying. Where do these words come from? And the Alchemy Library. So let me do a few of these here. I have up. Planetary linguistics. This one's excellent. This is a must for everybody. You learn the names of the planets. You learn that Jupiter is Nibiru. You learn that Mercury is Hermes and Buddha. You learn that Jupiter is the Zadok or the Guru. You learn all the different names in the different languages, and this starts to open up a lot of the tales and the myths and the legends that we're told, right? All that's going to open up to you. The different, especially the names of the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Jupiter. Now for the alchemy link, there are all kind of books here, all kind of alchemy books. But within here is one link. If you come to F, at the bottom of F, you'll see From Alchemy to Chemistry, 500 Years of Rare and Interesting Books. And you click that and it'll bring you here. It's the Illinois University Library. And here are the original texts before publishing was really taken over. Some of them are in English. The original works are mostly French, German, Latin. But this is where you want to start if you want to understand alchemy. But understand it's encoded. What alchemy is to me is a language. It's a cipher that explains everything. It opens up a whole new world where language is concerned, because it has rules. Its language has rules. You'll learn sigil magic in there. To go here, you must be prepared to know truth. It is dark and light. It's duality. The knowledge of the tree of good and evil is indeed the knowledge of duality. And to know the truth of one side and to understand that truth, you must know the truth of the other side. So a lot of the alchemical works, the grimoires, the Germanic heathenry, the Necronomicons, the necromancy, this is a dark side that you must be willing to look at, to observe. I don't participate in magic rituals. I try not to participate in rituals. It's like a contract. It's a spiritual contract, a ritual is. You agree by your actions. To me, that's why Mars is so important, because it is our actions, but it's also our emotions. They're tied hand in hand. They are one. Our actions and our emotions are one. So when our Mars is all out of whack, retrograde, depression, in fire signs, angry, in water signs, cool down, the Joe Cool there, exalted in Capricorn, and debilitated in Cancer. But it's what we need to take control of, are our emotions and our tongue. Our Mars and our Mercury, all these are connected to our chakras. But don't be confused about, it's important to know your natal chart, because it tells you what cross you're on. If you're on the mutable cross, you're an adept. If you're on the fixed cross, you're a master. If you're on the cardinal cross, you're a grandmaster. Our leaders come from the cardinal cross, or they're supposed to. If everything was set up, if the world was set up, truly, if we had as above, so below, and a sidereal understanding, the world, this is the natural matrix. This is the false man-made. Tropical astrology is a false man-made matrix. Sidereal astrology is the natural matrix. It's where the stars actually are. And then we have this techno matrix over here, where they're redesigning everything to fit their algorithms for cosmology and astronomy. Here it is the story of the heavens that nature makes. And it changes. This one locked its clock. I call it the 3-lock box, right? The Sammy Hagar song, 1, 2, 3-lock box. I've done videos on that. Also for my new subs, I've had several channels. Most of them were taken down, and luckily a lot of my videos were archived by a YouTube user called Inside33. On my homepage, if you click on my icon, you can go to my homepage, and in the artwork of my homepage, in the corner, you'll see a link that'll say Inside33 Archive 11 lvt 11, and you can go there. And for all my older videos, most of that is based on linguistics, how I came to all of this knowledge. It's only been in the past couple of years that it all clicked for me, and I began doing charts. I began looking at other people's charts, and now my knowledge base is way increased. I've actually been able to tie language, astrology, and the Bible together. To me, the Bible is an astrology book. Alchemy teaches you how to read it. And when you use the alchemy to read the religious books of the world, they all turn into astrology books. Like the word heaven. The word heaven means an air sign. The word cardinal means most high. It also means divine, by the way. The mutable, the master is the cardinal cross. The fixed cross is the master. The Grand Master is the cardinal cross. You need to know which cross you're on. You also need to know your purpose. When I'm doing astrology, I do it from a Saturnalian perspective. The Bible tells us, in that day you'll have no need of the sun or of the moon, for I will be with you. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. And opposite Capricorn, Aquarius are Leo, Cancer, the houses of the sun and the moon. He has the sun and the moon under his feet. So I teach it from the Saturnalian perspective of you're here for a purpose. Saturn rules alchemy, karma, astrology from Aquarius. In Capricorn, he rules government, military, education. Both of these signs are what I call civil servants. It's where the one serves the many. It's looking out for humanity as a whole, to where all of the other signs, their houses are separated. Venus is separated from Libra and Taurus. Mercury is separated Virgo and Gemini. Mars is separated Scorpio and Aries. And Jupiter is separated Sagittarius and Pisces. But Saturn is whole. His houses are side by side. Capricorn, Aquarius. So we teach it from the perspective of the age of Aquarius. There is a difference between the God of fire, thou shalt not, Aries, Old Testament. The God of this age is Pisces, Jupiter. He's the God of grace and mercy. But Aquarius is Saturn, and that's you reap what you sow. It's an age of merit, what you earn. Nobody's created equal. Nobody. We're all unique individuals, but we make up a collective and a whole. So, I'm not going to argue with you about tropical astrology. If you want to carry that cross, that matrix does exist in this reality, and you're more than welcome to it. But I look at it as being double-crossed. I'm a Capricorn either way. Either way, I remain a Capricorn on their wheel because of my birthday. So, I'm on the same cross regardless. Every 24 out of every 30 people are on the wrong cross. So basically, 5 out of every 6 people have been put on the wrong cross. That's how bad it is. It's 5 out of 6. And we're told to know thyself. We're told, if thine eye be full of light, if your eye is light, you open your third eye, your whole body's full of light. But if not, your third eye and your whole body is full of darkness. The whole point is they're trying to hijack the spell, especially with the Ophiuchus. My money was they were going to bring down Orion, because it appears that Taurus is such a large constellation. But when you look at it from the stars' perspective, and it's much more accurate in the Arabic tradition if you're looking at the images in Stellarium. The images are more correct in position in the Arabic because they tell the story. In the Egyptian, the Arabic, but you have to get the symbolism correct. And what alchemy is a language of symbolism. It tells you how to decipher symbols no matter where you find them or in what language you find them. Because it's based on sigil magic. And sigil magic's based on the fact that a straight line is masculine and a curved line is feminine. And all things are created from those two things. A curved line or a straight line. And the combination thereof. 2 curved lines, 1 straight line, 2 straight lines, 1 curved line, 3 straight lines, triangle. Oh, that's just masculine, isn't it? 3 straight lines. Think about what I'm telling you here. How everything comes from a single source. I call it the dot, right? Everything comes from a single point. I call it the dot. And from the dot, and this is why Adam came first. I need y'all to understand this. Because when you start with the dot, let's see if I can do this. You start with the dot, and then you make the straight line. That's Adam. And then she comes forth. There's your G, and the egg is complete. That's the first symbol. And that's how you get pi, by the way. The radius and the circumference. It's geometry. It's geomagnetic. All right? To me, this is why you could think the earth is flat. But if you really understood this one concept right here, and that this concept repeats itself, I hate it when it does that. This concept repeats itself, so the next time the line will come and do another circle. And then the line will come and do another circle. And it'll just keep doing that in all positions till the whole thing's filled into a ball. And that is spherical geometry. That's what we call that. And this pattern, it's like manifestation. It starts out as a thought in your head, and then you put it on a 2-dimensional paper. I have a playlist. It might be in Inside 33 Archive. I'm pretty sure it is. And it has to do with the concept of 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, and how we would actually view that with human eyes. How we would observe it from the dimension we're currently in. To me, everything's dimensions, and people want to define dimensions as in layers like this, right? We think of it up and down. I'm aware of 11 dimensions and expanding into a 12th and 13th below. Everything expands, and it's on an odd 11-13 basis because it starts with 1, and then everything on the other side of that would fall in the every other one. But to me, they're not above and below as much as they are side by side. It's in a damn grid. I am not kidding you. Let's see if I can get it without time. Just go ahead. Time, location, Saturn, Jupiter, and then you plot your course, and where these two meet, you're in the right place at the right time, and that's the 2020 conjunction. Every time Saturn and Jupiter come together, that's being in the right place at the right time. And it sets the stage for the next 20 years. That's the first thing I noticed when doing astrology. Was I was looking at it, and everybody was screaming 2012. This was back in 2008. 2012. And I wasn't seeing anything. But I was learning in the Catholic iconography palmistry, and how the two fingers together meant a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, and that it was everywhere in Catholic iconography. They had the saints doing it, Jesus is doing it, Baphomet does it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everybody in Catholic iconography was doing it. And so it must be extremely important. So I began studying Saturn-Jupiter conjunctions, and 2020 popped up. And other dates in history that were extremely significant. Great events kept showing up around, either right before or right after these 2020 conjunctions. And I understood it to be, it is a process of the collective subconscious. It's a humanity as a whole, and wherever Saturn and Jupiter meet, whatever constellation they meet in, and how our reaction, our response, we're the energy source, our response to whatever event occurs is what manifests for the next 20 years. And these fellas have been rolling the dice, right? That's why dice are 7-11. It's the Aries cult, the cardinal cult. You have different ones. These are parts of all of us. This is us. When we look at the zodiac, we're looking at ourselves. And we're only a small part of that, right? We're just one little tiny light in all of the stars in heaven. We all have a star. We all come from different soul groups. This tells us what generation you're born in, what that meant, your soul groups. To know your natal chart is beyond important to me, especially to know which cross you're actually on. Most of the people in Western tradition all carry the tropical cross, and it's in error. I don't even know how to say it more. I can't tell you the charts I do. 99% of them are just wow, spot on, to where I'm moving them. Every 5 out of 6 people that I do, they're on the wrong cross. And you're this whole different person than you've been told. I never trust, even though I'm on the same cross, because your planets end up, it's not just your sun they put in a different sign. They put in all your chakras in a different sign. It's like, I've been asked this a lot this week about this blood moon eclipse in Capricorn. No, it's not in Capricorn. That's the first problem, is it's in Sagittarius. It's not in Saturn's house, it's in Jupiter's house. And Saturn's in Jupiter's house. But he's combust of the sun right now, so he ain't really having anything to do with it. It's in the house of ideology, not in the house of government. So there's a huge difference. Now, I'm not even going to call this out. I'm just going to tell it like it is. If you're dealing with a sidereal astrologer that has brought down Ophiuchus, I'm not on board. I'm not on board with the 13th sign. Ophiuchus and Scorpio are exactly fixed water. They're both fixed water. And there's no way you can get around that. Yeah, everybody wants to bring in this other element they're calling ether. In the Greek, the word for spirit, air, is pneumatic, and it's assigned to Aquarius in the air signs in the alchemy. That is the spirit. Air means heaven. Spirit, it's the breath of life. These are all the same root, come from the same root word. And in the Greek, it is pneumatic. They've got us all on automatic. We're on automatic pilot in Pisces. We run on blind faith in this age of grace. People get terribly upset. I think I said this in the last video. I'm going to say it again. People get really upset. This is not fair. It's what's going on is not fair. One, there are no rules in love and war. There are no rules in love and war. And if you've read your history, you know this place that we're in has been at perpetual war since the beginning of written history. There are no rules. We're in the age of grace, not the age of Saturn. Aquarius is you reap what you sow. Aquarius are those red words in the New Testament. Those black and white Masonic words, they're talking mostly about Pisces and Aries. That's the battle of fire and ice. Aries, fire. Pisces, water. And they've joined forces to come against. They've joined forces. The tropical and the IAU are going to join forces against the sidereal. It's already under attack. It's already under attack. They're redoing the zodiac in the rotunda of the Capitol building. This has been going on, and they still will not release to us the new zodiac. And everybody's banking on Ophiuchus. They did the 2016 reset to get her ritual at the mall with the moon in Ophiuchus when that ritual went down with the Pope there in DC. And which is where the rotunda is, that zodiac in the ceiling. It used to have the apotheosis of George Washington in it, and they changed it. So we need to know to know their new plan. We really need to see if anybody can come up with an image of the new zodiac in the rotunda of the Capitol building in DC. That would help us a lot, because they encode everything in the image. You must learn to read pictures. You know, our terminology is a picture paints 1,000 words, but that comes from a much older saying, an Arabian saying, where a picture paints 10,000 words. The Arabian Nights, very encoded alchemical texts. They all were. To me, Plato, Socrates, once you start using alchemy on any of this work, it starts a whole new concept and a whole new way of looking at things, a more macro view from on high above, looking down at the whole thing. Begins to open up. You can go from within to without, or without to within. You can look up in the heavens and find yourself, but you can find the same self within. They're connected. They're one. That when we look up, that is us. We are projected. This is a projection. That's why it's so easy to understand this as a simulation, because the lights project, right? The earth is the stage and the stars are the projections. They're all telling a story at the same time. Every one of them. And it's projected down here. And the two main narratives, or the two main storytellers, are the sun and the moon. And then you have the backstory, which are the planets, right? Not just the sun and the moon, but the other 5. I call them the Jackson 5, right? Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto are not connected to the chakras, nor do they rule any house of the zodiac in alchemy. They never have. They're considered more like the destinies or the fates. They're generational markers. Uranus represents the conscious mind. Pluto represents the subconscious mind. And Neptune represents the imagination. Alright, this is basically really just to catch my new subs up to what's going on this channel, that anybody can do this for themselves. You can download Stellarium, you can turn it on, you can put the information in and see where all your planets and stars are. Here are the dates here. I do the charts. When I do the charts, I use Stellarium. I'm not going to give you a wheel. That's the way tropical astrology looks at astrology, and I don't even do it. I'm not going to give you a chart wheel. If that's the way you understand it, then you can go anywhere online and look up your sidereal chart and look at it from that perspective yourself. You don't need me to do that. What I do is I use Stellarium, and I'm going to go through every planet and tell you what that planet means in that sign and what it means to you. I go through 2 Saturn returns. Saturn rules alchemy. He rules astrology. That's his magic wheel. But these guys, Aries and Pisces, don't just try to take it over. They've been taking it over for 10 houses of the zodiacs this has been going on. This illusion and delusion of redo it and do it. The wheel in the sky keeps turning. But every age comes along, and every age gets a new zodiac, a new constellation, so it becomes number one, right? The last becomes the first. In Pisces, in our age, Pisces is 1. So that makes Aquarius 12. But when Aquarius becomes 1, then Pisces becomes 12. He then becomes the last. The first shall be the last. And this thing is a fractal. So when you find it in one place, you're going to find it in the other. And then you're going to find its two opposites, right? It's like the cross. I'm a Capricorn. My opposite is Cancer. But we're on the same cross. And then you have your oppositions of left and right. I have cardinal fire Aries and that cardinal air Libra, Lucifer. Don't watch television. If you're going to watch television, do it with alchemical eyes. Pay attention to the symbols, the language, the phonetics. It's phonetics. It should be phonics. But they use alphabets to spell us, to cast their spell upon us. So don't fall for the Ophiuchus spell, because that's what it is. It's going nowhere. There's a big division in astrology right now, and they all hate me. None of them like me. I'm not doing a solar or a lunar astrology. I'm doing a Saturnalian astrology. So I'm really getting hit hard, especially by truthers, right? They don't understand the Saturn that they see is Jupiter with a mask on. It's Nibiru. It's Jupiter with Saturn's crown on, his horns, right? Baphomet. They've turned him upside down. The goat man Pan is now the man goat Baphomet. But once you take off the mask, it's Jupiter in there. Jupiter and Mars. The desire and emotion. That's what rules this construct that we're in, is a construct of Pisces. And it's the age of deception. It's supposed to be that way. That's why it's the age of grace and mercy, because all is fair in love and war. But as we walk into Aquarius, grace and mercy is over with. It's all about Saturn. And you will reap what you sow. You will also get to keep what you earn. It will be on a merit-based system. Those who work will eat. Those who apply themselves will excel. Nothing will be handed to you because of a family you were born into. That will not be allowed. Each will be celebrated for their own purpose, and everybody will actually have a purpose. And we grow and we change, and we can see that as we advance into our charts through Saturn returns. How your purpose and your personality change. I assume you can probably do it with any planet based on desire or emotion. I don't do astrology the way other people do it. I am not going to prognosticate to you. I'm just going to tell you what the planets say. Where they were when you were born, where they're at now, and where they're going in your life. It's really different. I don't do the chart. I don't do the wheel. So don't expect that from me. I don't do tropical astrology. So don't expect that from me. I really don't even do sidereal astrology, because there's so much in this astrology that does not line up with the alchemy. I consider it traditions of men, but the dates do. They do look at where are the stars when you're born, not where they were 1700 years ago. Tropical astrology. All right, that's my 2 cents worth. Sorry this drug on so long. Mostly I wanted to the fact that I got a post office box now. So I am not afraid of my mail. I've been having a severe problem with my mail. So, P.O. Box 70612, Las Vegas, Nevada 89170-0612. Alright, y'all know what to do. We have to start with ourselves. Be kind to yourself, first of all. Be grateful for what you have. And then spread that joy, spread that love, spread that gratefulness and that kindness throughout your day. Those are the types of seeds we need to plant. And this is actually while the ground is fallow. Now, between the winter solstice and the spring equinox is the time to plant the seeds in the hearts and the minds of men. Because in the spring, when the sun rises in the east, it calls forth those seeds into life, and it begins to manifest into the physical world. That's a different form of manifestation, that seasonal manifestation. What you plant will grow, whether it's wickedness or loveliness. We each have our own gardens. I consider our channels our gardens. Sometimes we need to get the weeds out of our channels. Our social media accounts, weed them out. That's Uranus and Pisces. Weeding out associations in your life to make room for something new. And that's really what it's all about. It's about change. Without change, there can be no growth. And without growth, there can be no fruit, no tomorrow, no nothing. Everything becomes stagnant. And that is no existence. Stagnation is no existence. All right, there's your links. Just click the description box below and you'll always find all of this. And you can go, if you want to know where the planets are today without turning on Stellarium, this planetary positions is great. I need to go ahead and put the L back in there. All right, there you go, people. You know what to do. Go commit that random act of kindness. Be grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly. By the way, we have to be grateful for the trials and temptations that teach us how to grow. Growing is a struggle. A plant struggles. Every morning, the morning glory wakes up and it turns to face the rising sun. You got to work for it.